Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. School's in session. I'm Mary Sky Ridley, also known as Krabby McCoffee. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. I have a couple updates for you. So the other night I was talking to Higgins. I was kind of tired. And I was talking to Higgins uh, about other issues. So he turns around and he emails me about where's the beef, okay? And he sends me this picture of him getting like a month's supply. I'm gonna see if I can do this without you seeing his email address. Right here he goes. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7 sausage ropes, or what he calls bologna sausage. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's a month's supply of sausages. Let's just say that's just better cheddars. If you didn't know, 12 packs of better cheddars. So apparently Higgins is well, you don't think I see this. This is one of his prepping things, right? He says, "Where's the beef?" Right? I'm sorry to say, but that is what we call instant heart attack. So for some of you out there, what is it? You cut my treats. We're downsizing on the economy. I'm having a couple problems. I'm gonna have to call Higgins anyways. Computer trouble. Apparently my game is crashing, and I ran all the diagnoses. So, I don't know why. I have a feeling it's because well, my hard drive might be failing or whatever, but it's just loading really slow. Now, if you reboot and then shut it down, it still takes too long to boot up. I mean, I've gotten like a 7-minute ritual. And he's like, "Oh, well, if Chloe could be Chloe's been bashing my computer without me knowing." And but anyways, we're not gonna go into Chloe because, excuse me for a minute. There we go. So, anywho, we got this problem, right? As a prepper, a lot of people out there have been emailing me saying, why should we prep, right? Well, there's a reason for it. Survive. But starting to see the point I'm seeing is why people don't want to prep. They don't want to live. You see nuclear bombs go off everywhere and you survive and you have food while everyone else is dying around you, you're going to lose 99% of the world, I bet. And if you do, that 1% is going to come out. It's going to be a new world. There's not going to be money left. People sitting there, "Oh, yeah, I've got $500 billion trillion in gold." Is that going to make you wealthy to put something over someone else's head when the entire world was decimated? Maybe God wants us to get a reset. Think about it. Well, the other day I was talking to there we go. This is our mascot, Moppy Shih Tzu. Hello, everyone. I'm Moppy. Today I'm going to be talking about how my mommy is really mean to me. She is now saying I need to go and find some new love at the pound for a new owner at my age because she's been not loving me and cutting my tree toes down to 1/4. I saw her yesterday. She was cutting in quarters. Maybe it was fifths. Maybe it was in little 1/10 chunks. Anyways, it was my bacon strips. So what'd she do? She's been cutting them down and giving to me. She's cutting my Tritos down. And she says I'm needy and I need to go to the pound I need to find someone who will love me. That's not what I said, Moppy. I said you can't have the entire bag or 3 dinners. Yeah, see? It's the same thing, right, people? Yeah. Anyways, Krabby. Just look at him. Isn't he precious? Oh. Remember when we got him so young ago? He was so cute back then. I never thought I'd get an attachment to a dog like this. My other dog I was attached, but he barked a lot. But this one's like, I think he's going deaf, maybe. Do you need a service dog for you, Moppy? Huh? You need a new dog, huh? However, he still knows how to mooch. Yeah, so shall we continue? You want to treat? I'll get you one little treat. Okay, here you go. So, Economy's going down the toilet. Chloe, I told her to call me. Here, this is too big. There you go. See that? You just she cut my treater and the Economy got a hit. So Chloe was yelling and screaming at me today with her temper. I want to share that for a bit. As you all know about Chloe's temper, the other day she went after Advocate 1's office, which Advocate 1 and 3 are in. But you guys heard the story, I guess. So what was it? Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. She goes and gets angry with her temper and goes to First Advocate 2's office, lambasted the crap out of her and her management team. They haven't done anything to her. Then she goes over to Advocate 1 and 3's office, lambasted Advocate 1 and 3 and the director. Then goes to get smokes, and then goes to the hospital and lambastes them, calling them a discriminating piece of crap, supposedly anti-trans, Rose coming back. And went on and on and on, antagonizing the hospital and saying anti-Trump things. We won't even go there. Literally. And then comes back here. Now, you guys are saying, oh, well, has it stopped? Well, let's just say, for the sake of the argument today, my cousin Dinky might be watching this on her way home or watching this in general and stuff. I want to make it very clear before we get into prepping. But let's just say today was no better. So I got a call today, right? And I take very low estrogen dose due to my body producing estrogen, right? So got a call, right? This lady tried calling like 3 times yesterday, right? Phone's turned off. I answer today. Lady rips me a new one. I turn around and said, listen here, lady. If you can't cater to someone who's got coronavirus and everything else and you're discriminating, well, the doctor hasn't seen you in several years and it says here you're supposed to be moving back out this way. Housing shortage. Yeah, that's what I told her. So she turns around and yells me and I said, you know what? I'll call you when I'm ready. Well, there's no way to. I said, you know what? If you're going to discriminate, then you know what I did? So I called up today a doctor's office. I know a lady, right? Been friends with her for years. She's also a former primary care physician. That's how I got a title of friends, right? So what happens? Called her up. She says, no, Rita, I'm not taking new patients. And I would not touch Chloe with a 20-foot pole. So then I call up another place I'm referred to. Apparently they do a lot of, oh, yes. Hey, how goes it, Piper? Or actually, it's Piper. I can't remember your former name. It's been so long. I haven't seen you, man. How have you been besides work? Anyways, where was I? So the story goes, hospital and clinics are swamped. Phone call swamped. Everything. Just like, I think his name's Sterling, I believe. It might be Sterling. Yeah. If it isn't it, we know his code name Piper. Working some. Well, anyway, you look at it. If you heard the stories going around, Piper, I think your name's Sterling, if I remember correctly. That doesn't matter. Anyways, you're cool anyway to look at it. And by the way, your gift card was put to use, or your gift cards. I'm acquiring um, a few office tools right now in the donations. Not that I'm mooching or anything. I'm not. I haven't even put in there. The donation page is in the About Me page. I also wanted to tell you, since you've been so busy, that we have a series of podcasts. You may go to Spotify on our Spotify channel, Piper. You can listen while you're driving your garbage truck. I set it up specifically for you. So you can hear the real deal, even if you're away from your thing. About Me page has Spotify, Rumble. And by the way, I've been busy too, trying to avoid YouTube due to the fact that YouTube censor is starting to censor me, by the way. But anyways, just to clarify that. So where was I? And you probably heard by now there was a kind of a argument set up for Zoe. So she's no longer a moderator. I believe you still are moderator. So anyway, so hospitals are clogged up, people, to the point of no return. So because I have to have special medication once every 2 weeks, the doctor that I have in Eastern Washington doesn't want to deal with it. I have an entire list of doctors. So far, 0 out of 0 I'm batting, not because of who I am, it's because they're all afraid. I've been swamped with work, yep, and working more side work. Well, I've set up, like I said, a podcast. You can find it under Spotify on my About Me page. It should help you out immensely when it comes to, and I'll even throw it in there on the live chat if you give me a minute, since you might be too busy for links. You can actually just save it, click on it and save it, and that'll keep you, pretty good. So, hold on a sec, community. Let me check my polls, though. Let's see. Would you change from brand names to store brands? Out of all my followers, 4 said yes. And then I've updated the preppers list with a basic preppers list. A lot of people say, well, can't we go get any basicer? I could. All right, so if you go to Spotify here, and you go to this link, then you go into this link here, you'll find hold on a sec. That's our Spotify. And Piper, just to let you know, for some of you out there, let me just do this, okay? For you right there, everyone, it says right there, that is our Spotify channel. You just go click that link. It opens up to my link. And that there will give you, I put on the screen, will literally help you with that. Now, he says, get a Rumble account. They don't censor. Well, let me just put it this way. Here is our Rumble account, by the way. And our Rumble account's not bad. So Higgins was complaining, I think, the other day how we haven't done much. It's called San Juan Island Prepper. So, yeah, I have San Juan Island Prepper, and I have my channels is Airy Sky Rita Lee, which I've never done any videos on. Airy Sky Rita Lee is my San Juan Island Preppers, has all the videos that I've made. And I don't do more because of the fact that they want $10 a month for live, and I'm not ready for live. Yeah, so you see, I've already been doing that. Higgins and I, Piper, have been basically, why do you think I've been busy when I got basically flagged? My video was flagged and taken down. Apparently, they said it was misinformation about politics. Yeah. So I try to basically put in my videos all the time that it's all my personal opinion, But anyways, if you give me a second, Piper, I want to. Oh yeah, should show you this. Actually, is the box around, or did we get rid of the box? Hold on, let me just see if I can find the box real quick for Piper. Father of that. I got a better idea. So, to thank Piper personally, I want to show Piper something on screen share, but I don't want to dig for the box. So, let's just go over here and go over to. All right, so. Okay, so I want to show Piper, and then there. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, you guys are sitting there wondering what I'm going to be talking about. Well, let me show you. Okay. So, February 3rd. Cool. So, anyways, just to show this, all right, for some of you, and including Piper, who I'm glad to see. Piper was helping with something about my birthday a while ago. So, want to thank Piper because my scanner sitting in the window, I'm loving it to death. It picks up 12 counties. Got a nice little antenna. I updated the antenna. I'm telling you, I'm truly loving the scanner. So I want to thank you wholeheartedly. Now, as a gift, even Chloe's temper flares all the time, and I got to remind her the police scanner is for her protection because if the sheriff comes up, I'll know what she did and so forth. So, but that sample programming trunking scanner is so much fun. I just put a zip code in and I go to town. Whereas the other scanner that's sitting below my 536 was a gift as well, which is this is sitting below it. So I have actually two new base station scanners. I'm still, as a prepper, let me just see right there. This is pretty cool. This one's this gets 6 counties. With the new antenna, I get one at 12 and one at 6. These scanners come in really good handiness. There we go. And then I have my old handheld scanner. So anyway, look at it, everyone. It's pretty funny, but at the same time, Chloe tried calling it. She's like, I'm going in this store. Nope. So she hasn't called yet. So when she does, we'll know. It'll come up like beep, beep, beep. Oh, hold on. This is Chloe now. Freaking hello? Yes, I hear you. Yeah, I'm at Marketplace. I can hear you. Okay. So what did you want? Other than milk? I have not a clue. Besides milk. Right. If you come across something, you can call me. Otherwise, I don't know. Call me if you find something. I might be interested. So, she's got my cash with her. I needed milk only. Unfortunately, as a penny pinching miser, she thinks I need to eat like crazy. But as you guys have been hearing about, we're going to get into the ramifications now of why people don't want prep. All right. Now, so remember what I said. I have a donation page. If you find my channel to be decent, you can find my donation page on Amazon under my About Me page where my email is, and no pressure. I'm quite content not even doing videos every day, but I had to get this out there because I was talking to Higgins last night on the phone about the next topic. See, topics are getting harder and harder for people, and the preppers are not happy about it because they're not getting what they want, Like the other day, Higgins brings up CP, right? He's a prepper. Always doom and gloom. Yeah, I'm the real deal, as Piper says, and Tildor says. Problem with being the real deal is you see so many people, right, monetizing on YouTube. I don't monetize. I give you my time and my free time free without asking for anything. Whereas these guys think making money off of doom and gloom will pay their bills every month. So they got to make 1 or 2 videos a day, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna all die. We're gonna go. Well, you see, the preppers out there are getting tired of it. Okay, they're getting tired of going online and seeing doom and gloom. Plain and simple. They see it, they don't want to prep. They say, let me be vaporized. I mean, I don't know how many times I was reading horror in the middle of the night where they were talking about finding the nuke bomb that was dropping and be vaporized so they don't have to literally live. Think about it. A lot of these people are talking about this. They don't want to live in a world where they will be vaporized, and radioactive is going to kill them. I mean, think about it. There's a reason for this discussion why preppers aren't prepping. So, again, thank you, Piper, for your help on the gift cards, you didn't have to. And you made this old girl happy too, So, thank you again, Piper. As you can see, since the goal was met, I haven't really came up with a new goal. That's the thing. I need a new computer. I think that's going to be next on the list, but I'm working on that on my own thing. However, let me just say, jokingly, of course, all right, so you guys don't think I'm a freeloading mooch for any of you. The price of groceries on and where I live has just gone up. Talking to Chloe the other day, where my groceries came out to nearly $60 for 8 items. 8. That's right. The local coffee I'm drinking is too much, okay? That's why I keep ordering stuff online. I'm basically literally, so. Well, again, I want to thank Piper for the donation, for the scanner. The scanners brought me a little comfort. So, should still try to get the cousin to the 536, which is 436, but right now it's not time to talk with Scanner. Right now the time is to discuss the problem at hand. All right, so the problem at hand is, but not limited to, why people don't want to prep. All right, I'll tell you why they don't want to prep. They want to die. Most of them don't want to die due to the fact that in general they want to literally pass away due to the fact that they want to give up. You see, if there is nuclear war, they think it's going to be Armageddon to the point of death. They hear nuclear winter. Well, they don't want to live through that. But let me just put it this way. How would you feel as a prepper, people, as if you were stuck in a bunker for the shelf life? 35 years is the half-life to a nuclear weapon. So whatever it is, if the nuclear bomb survives 70 years and they refit them periodically and make new ones, and it lasts 70 years, do you think in 70 years, half-life of that, Yeah. So apparently Hulu's trying to basically sell me on something. It's like, oh, they're trying to push because it's their 15th anniversary, So a lot of preppers out there don't want are trying to get you guys to prep, but they're all failing. So they're going to politics and they're like, well, hopefully this happens. And they're basically, it's like, they claim there's a banking collapse, right? I haven't checked the Dow Jones today yet. I'm limited on what I can and can't do. So apparently, story for you soon. But apparently, I heard the Dow Jones went down again. Yesterday it was. I don't know what it was. Today it went down 58 points, so it actually climbed back up. It had a market rally. So apparently, so they're saying it wobbled due to the fact that, I don't know about you guys, but, it depends on the next 2 days what it's going to happen. Now Higgins is like, oh, well, I was worried about, what, you got to worry about it. But, this is the other thing. The prepper like me, I look at the overall picture, right? And the overall picture is stock market, right? You got all these people, right? They sit there and they make predictions. Oh, banking collapse, black swan, right? And then you got people like me trying to get the intel, give me the intel, what's going on? Nothing. And then I got my other connections. They're just like, oh, we'll see. And then I'm sitting here doing YouTube vids trying to figure out the next move. Meanwhile, we're starting to have a lot of problems, So, then Chloe, she comes, oh, I'm going to the store. So, anyways, so let me just tell you this again. A lot of preppers are prepping, but they're starting to lose faith and hope in their own way due to the fact this was something I said to Higgins I would talk about, due to the fact that a lot of people don't have enough food and money to supply 35 years of shelf life food to survive. That's the problem. Problem is, no one thinks about that. I mean, you could ask Piper, do you have 35 years of food and a piece of property where you can grow your food? Piper's going to say no. And then he's going to say, well, 35 years is a long time. Should have prepped to decide before then. But he also knows that if there is a nuclear winter, where are you going to grow your crops? Then you got to go at least 6 inches underneath the soil to get to your ground. The first 6 inches of the ground is going to be fully contaminated, and it might even get deeper than that for the groundwater. I mean, I've been studying nuclear winter theories, okay? And on top of that, temperature is going to drop, and then you might not be able to, I mean, they don't talk about these things. They literally don't talk about these things, people. I mean, if you look at the preppers, they don't care. Oh, hold on. That's Chloe. Come on. Damn it! You hung up on me, you stupid freaking twit bags. I fucking answer. I hate fucking Google Voice. Damn fucking phone. You see that? Turns around, right? You use a free phone service and then it disconnects. I mean, literally. Tried calling, you hung up on me. I answered it. See what she says. Yeah. You hung up on me. Yeah, I did. I hit answer and then you hung up on me. I have not a clue. That's the thing. I just woke up. Not getting corned beef tonight again, so.
Yeah, you are if I get the kitchen clean.
Takes 8 hours to cook it. It'd be 3 in the morning. I'm not waiting 3 in the morning.
Fine, I'll clean the kitchen tonight and cook it early in the morning.
All I know is I need something. I got 3 soups I can eat, and yeah.
Well, then let's have the soup.
And I'm not paying the high prices there. I mean, you probably walked around. However,
Yeah, that price is pretty ridiculous. Okay.
oh yeah, go attack me with your temper again. That's all you're good for anymore.
I'm not talking with my temper.
Don't tell me to shh.
Look, I'm trying to tell you what I've seen. Okay. They have teeth. Anyways,
Yeah, but that's expensive too.
$2 for a thing of peeps.
Oh, Peeps! I thought you said Pete's. Talking about coffee.
Oh. Want me to look at the coffee?
Yeah, you can. Anyways, I don't know what else to think. Not snacks. I don't mind something that might be frozen as long as I can figure something out, but I don't know what to cook. So, I mean, I could get chicken as long as it ain't $12.99 or something. Chicken breasts or deep fried chicken and make sandwiches, or I can make chicken fried gravy or I can make chicken marinara. Oh yeah, check the Stouffer's out too while you're there. I was meaning to ask you about that. Call me when you get down there. Thanks. So, anyway, she wants to sit there and yell at me, right? Oh, well, I was in it, but really. You don't have any problem spending anyone else's money, but when you give $20 and you say, here's what you get for the week for my groceries, and all I need is milk and coffee, I mean, literally, people can't prep anymore because they can't afford the high prices. I mean, look, 8 items, almost $60 here. Coffee was $15. Usually coffee's $7.99 a can, peeps, and then they charge me $7. Piper is probably sitting here going, "Oh my god, $7 for this mac and cheese? Who the hell pays $7 for mac and cheese? The spam's usually $2.50 a can. They're charging nearly $6 for this can of spam. I had to order a whole shitload on Amazon. Then the Johnsonville Better cheddars, of course. Oh, there she is again. Don't hang up. I'm getting tired of this too.
Okay, I'm sorry, okay? I was trying to wait for you to pick up the phone. So they got chicken patties, $9.69, and then they got the chicken breast fillet, $13.69.
Well, what about those ones that you used to buy that came with the gravy,
Let me look. Oh, they only got the steak. Air fried chicken nuggets. All they have is stuff from Tyson.
And Stouffer's?
You want Stouffer's?
I said the Stouffer's. I was asking you to look for the chicken parmigiana. Remember, I can make that at home, but I ain't paying the money for the chicken itself.
Stouffer's. I'm looking at Stouffer's right now. You're long away, Stouffer's. Okay, I'm right here. Chicken parmesan. They actually do have it. Why do they never have what I'm looking for?
Oh well, just pick up the milk and head on home. I don't think I can figure. I'll figure something out here at home. Yes. See? Stupid, blind, dumb son of a bitch, all right? Can't even basically do it. They basically try to tell me there's nothing there at the store, right? More likely there isn't, but let's just say there is, and she's blind as hell. She couldn't even find Silver's mac and cheese and Salisbury steak. Now I had to show her after buying the whole entire store out. So, point being is prices getting high. I mean, think about it. I mean, literally. I mean, you want chicken fried steak, can't get it. You want chicken fried steak to put and make and then they basically, the temper's getting the best of them of everything. They're getting very violently angry, even over the phone, over food, I mean, literally. Well, how long think of it. Frozen chicken patties, $14 a bag. Sorry to say, but you got to cut corners somehow, people. I mean, literally, I'm down to, I got plenty of meals, so I'm not worried about it. My problem is the fact that, we got to cut corners. I mean, literally. I mean, I've already cut out half my streaming services, and it's still expensive. I'm thinking cutting out some more. Fortunately, just to try to find something tasty to eat is like, I can eat spam mac and cheese tonight and I'd be happy. Fortunately, I don't want to pay $10 or $12 for one meal because this is what they're doing. And, that brings us to the other story about the prepping. You see, as a prepper, by the way, the store closes in 6 minutes anyway, so she can't find anything anyway, so she should just come back, And she likes to go out, so then she says, oh, I'm tired, I can't clean. Well, as everyone knows, including my cousin Dinky, the advocate said, and I quote, when April comes, they're not resorting her on the lease with me. They won't. I mean, she literally ripped Advocate 3, who's a housing advocate, basically a new butthole, her and a group. They won't help. That's how bad Chloe's temper is. Since Piper's here, let me tell the story to Piper. It's a Monday, okay? Monday, she gets up. I had to wake her up. It was 2.5 hours later waking her up. I was napping. She turns around, and I tell her, manager wants inspection. She flips her lid, starts making threats. So I'm using the toilet, and I come out of the toilet, and I said, don't do anything stupid. What she do? She goes to Advocate 2's office, rips her and the director a new one. Then goes to Advocate 1 and 3's office, rips them a new one, and the director there. Then goes and gets cigarettes, and then goes and rips the hospital here a new one, calling him a racist, bigot, anti-trans, anti-Roe versus Wade, baby popping hospital that's Catholic, and blah, 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 right? Then she calls and hangs up on 3 DCRs, and finally a DCR does get in touch with her, and she's just in a panic, like, me, I'm going to my scanner. Monday I was glued to it because of the fact of, and then, point being is as a prepper, people don't want to prep, they can't prep. If you're sitting there, okay, let me talk about prepping today, okay? That's my job, okay? For you preppers out there that's tuned in today, okay? Great. So you left me another voicemail again. Oh, yes. I need to do that. Okay, hold on. Hold on a sec, people. We're going to talk about prepping. And I'll explain why people aren't prepping.
Hey, I'm checking out.
Yeah, okay. Just make sure to let me look at the thing. Yeah, I got your voicemail.
Okay.
You said it was $8.49 for the Henry's blend. Yeah, I'll have to listen.
Yes.
When we run out, I'll send you to get more. In the meantime, let me check the thing you asked about. Yeah, the chicken was just too expensive.
Yeah.
So there's the power pack to get it all. That's 31 million, and my Mega Millions His drawing is tomorrow. So remember, you want the what multiplier? Yeah, whatever it is. Make them the multiplier times 2. Yeah, whatever it is, times 4 or times 4 or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. Just make sure you want the max in it. Yeah. All right. For me.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I do play the lotto from time to time. I should have asked her to pick me up a newspaper, but oh well. I was in the mood for a newspaper. Now you guys are watching me. You're saying, okay, my phone's ringing. That's, you know, she's got cash. She got the milk. So, but dinner, either soup or mac and cheese tonight. I still got ramen I can eat too. So I'm not too worried about food right now. All right. I got a corned beef I got to cook. I also got to finish cleaning the fridge again. Now, we're not going to talk about Chloe's problems, okay? Let's just talk about the 2 problems, okay? Problem at hand is prepping, okay? A lot of preppers out there don't want to prep. They don't care to prep. Literally. Chloe's dad, or not Chloe's dad, Higgins' dad said to Higgins recently that, if there's a disaster, someone just go into your house and eat your food, son. If you can get there, Higgins was saying. But the thing is you got to ask yourself, a lot of preppers, they don't want to prep. Because let me tell you what's going on in their heart, okay? A lot of them are saying if it happens, it happens. It's the end of the world. Plain and simple. They don't want to worry. Because think of the half-life. Nuclear bombs got, 70-year storage life and a half-life of nuclear radiation. That's 35 years, right? How many people like Piper and others, are going to wait 35 years for the half-life? No. It doesn't work. Plain and simple. Think about it. It doesn't work. I mean, when you're looking at the half-life of something, right? That's 35 years you're in the ground pretty much. Yeah, and if they don't drop any more on you. And then only the wealthy stay in their bunkers. And when they do come out, they're going to think, oh, well, we can start our factories back up and we can start our thing. But what happens after the math? There's no power. So for 35 years, they're stuck in a bunker with a whole bunch of gold and food. They say, oh, I'll get 5 years of food. 5 years later, the wealthy's dead because they didn't prep enough food. They got their gold they're worried about, but not their food. And that's not the tip of the iceberg for preppers. The people that don't want to prep, they don't want to prep because the truth is, it's like Advocates 3 said, Mel, you don't want to live in a post-apocalyptic world where you don't have much food. And if you do have enough food, you're only surviving and sustaining till you run out of food. Then on top of that, you literally, a lot of preppers out there, I've talked to preppers, the ones that were prepping, they gave up because if they had nuclear cards used, they can't literally live on a plant, on an area in the middle of rural southern in the south, like Tennessee or Texas. The radiation will travel everywhere. So even if you survive your ordeal of where the food is and you have plenty of food to survive, then what happens in the after effect? That's the other thing that these people are afraid of. You can't go to the grocery store. Say, pop your head out a year later, there's no groceries, but all the groceries are contaminated. The store. A lot of these people, they'll freaking raid the grocery store in a nuclear winter and get sick and die from the radiation exposure. And if that doesn't happen, and then on top of that, these wealthy, they just pop up, oh yeah, we're alive, we survived, we got our gold. I'm going to become a capitalist again. And then they turn around and they find out the entire power grid's been completely annihilated, obliterated. And then they find out the satellites have been obliterated. Then they find out their cell towers are dead. Then they find their satellites are dead. Then they find nothing is working. Think about it. I mean, a lot of people out there's about 95% of the world knows that if it happens, there's not a damn thing they can do about it. So that's why they're freaking, they don't want to prep. And I know if Tildor was watching, he'd probably say the same thing, But a banking collapse you can survive through. We've done it in the past. So if Tildor, he hasn't basically said whether it'd be a banking collapse with the Black Swan or nuclear war. I mean, you got China literally making threats. You got North Korea making threats. You got Iran thinking about making nukes. And you got Russia threatening if they lose, they'll use tactical nukes, which in retaliation would us retaliate. Meanwhile, you got the U.S. government basically giving everything they can to Ukraine to prevent Ukraine being taken over, because they say once Ukraine's taken over, Estonia, Latvia, Moldova might be next. And if they invade those countries, it's an act under the act of war under Article 5 of the NATO treaty. What's that tell you, peeps? Tells you, a lot of people are like, yeah, so yeah, so anyways, so point being is the American people need to realize that, and another reason people are messaging me and they think we can't prep is the fact that the price is so expensive. I mean, I just read a report today while staying in bed, by the way, where I don't even bring this up to my own family in Texas. I love my my family in Texas, where they were talking about, but not limited to, pricing, because the pricing is just so damn high. Think about it. The American people can't sustain itself. Think about it. Let's talk about this, okay? Now, I'm not going to bring up Higgins much in this email, or not this email, but this video vidcast. But for the video podcast, let me just say for the record that Higgins has been having a lot of time and hard time trying to find a doctor, okay? I can understand him. I mean, look what my doctor did. I was minding my own business, peeps, and minding my own business, peeps, and guess what? As I was minding my own business, okay, so I got trash. Gotta check my spam folder, because I gotta find out. Okay. So apparently that's all spam. That's why I couldn't see the thing from Yahoo. All right. So I checked my Yahoo email. All right. So, anyways, my point being is I actually have an email program that I can check all my emails at once. But let me just say that you preppers out there see the pricing of food through the roof to no end. Think about it. They can't afford beer. They can't afford whiskey. They can't afford vodka, gin, tequila, scotch, bourbon, nothing. Literally, the price of everything is through the roof. I just saw a report today about food pricing, right? Why is it so high? And Federal Reserve's like, oh, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to raise rates. We're going to raise rates. We're going to raise rates. I don't care if there's 5 million people unemployed. We have to get inflation under control. No, they don't. My opinion is they're just doing it so they can say, oh, look, the Democrats can try to control pricing and couldn't win, so we had to raise rates. They're basically bankrupting a country because no one can afford anything. And yet, you got another report saying that the workers are literally spending like the nice pipers of the world are still shopping for groceries, shopping and affording everything. And the Federal Reserve report today I was reading said, this is just from what I'm gathering, so it's not misinformation if I say it, but it said something about the Federal Reserve's angry at the fact that people could still buy new TVs, new computers, new scanners, new everything, and it's upsetting them. Let me tell you a little thing about prepping, okay? As a prepper, there's mandatory spending and then there's discretionary spending, okay? And right now, let me just tell you, discretionary spending is hard because discretionary spending is something where you sit there and you buy what you think you need, like this. Let me show you these. So these are hot pads. Look at this. This is hot pads. Just fold them up. Hot pads for pots. Now you're sitting there going, cool. Then you got more hot pads. See? Then non-discretionary spending. Oven mitts. Finally got new oven mitts. Why? Because the old ones got holes in them. Yeah. The old ones got holes in them. Chloe kept burning herself, so is that discretionary or mandatory? Hello, Higgins. It is mandatory. So when you need socks and underwear, it's considered mandatory. If you need a t-shirt or a new shirt, it's mandatory. If you need quarters for laundry, it's mandatory. If you need stuff that you survive at home, garbage bags, dish soap, it's mandatory. You need food, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. Everything is mandatory. TV, not mandatory, but when your TV fails, and it does, hold on. There we go. It's mandatory. Blankets, mandatory. You choose to stay warm or you choose to freeze. I prefer to stay warm, so the blankets were mandatory spending. So a lot of preppers out there are going from looking at high inflation to penny pinching. I mean, literally, penny pinching to the point of no return. That's the problem, So, Now, the only reason why I bought a computer hard drive and SSD was for Chloe, wasn't for me. However, like I said, when Chloe gets back, I'm going to have to call. Hold on. Hello. Mega Millions with the multiplier, the heavy multiplier, and then the Powerball is like the $4 ticket, I think. The Powerball is like the $4 ticket.
A $4 Powerball ticket?
Yeah. And then the multiplier. The multiplier is like $2 or $3.
Okay, let's pull it out here. Okay, so Powerball and Mega Million, you want both of them to have multipliers.
Yes, there's the Power Pack at all the Powerball parks for $4 a play.
Okay, so I want the Power Pack.
And then,
That's the biggest one, right?
yes, for the Mega Millions. And then for the Mega Millions, we want the maximum multiplier available.
Okay. So yeah, and then we also want the Mega Millions, the maximum multiplier available.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm getting what the best they have.
Both of those. Okay, thanks.
Power Play and Mega Millions.
Yeah, Power Pack. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Power Pack, you said.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks. Anyways, once in a while, I like to gamble, because if I won, I could retire and disappear. But Higgins already knows this. But anyways, point is, the American people need to realize that is a lot of preppers can't prep anymore. They can't afford to prep. That's the truth in the pudding. The truth nuggets in the pudding, they can't afford to prep due to the fact that they literally just can't prep on the fact that they can't afford it, So, Teldor posted a day ago, okay, ladies, pull up your bootstraps. Intel coming in hot. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I already said this. Prep like you have a parent. Stock up on beer, chew, and whiskey. Well, a lot of people can't afford beer, chew, and whiskey. Thought I was watching an episode of Little House on the Prairie with Chloe boiling water, bath water. Big shout out to Rita's topic this morning. He's spot on. It was, however, somewhat distracting. Chloe banging around dishes. Oh, yeah, I know. It was annoying. He or she says, Teldor, okay, put the beer down and get prepping. School's in session. Rita's got this. Shout out to the lovely Zoe. Zoe's no longer with us, by the way. And a special out to Chloe. Rita's the best in the business. Well, thanks. So, point is the American people need to realize that they can't afford it. I mean, the reports are coming in right now that no one can freaking afford. I mean, literally, no one can freaking afford things. I was telling Higgins, the government can't afford anything. And yet they're going to be spending billions of dollars for weapons, but they can't increase Social Security and they can't fix Social Security. They're trying to pass a bill on SSI, which Higgins is like, oh, did you hear about? Yes, I heard about the SSI report, people. That report was that if you get a meal, like Higgins gets a meal every week, he doesn't claim the meal, even though it's violating SSI rules because he's a rule breaker. Not my business to say, but anyways, the point being is that they want it right currently. They want to basically base that off of the money. So, and to me, it's kind of unfair. Truth is in the pudding. It's unfair. Unfair that they do that, but what can you say, right? Another thing to say about is in a nuclear winter, a nuclear attack, that just doesn't, I mean, Higgins and I was talking about the aftermath, right? One was power outage. Power doesn't power the water pumps. The water pumps can't get you water. You go thirsty. That's where the water comes in. But how much bottled water are you going to stock up to survive on bottled water alone for an entire 35 years? Would require probably a football stadium size warehouse big enough big enough to hold all your water for 35 years. Think about it. 1 gallon of water a day for 365 days is 365 gallons of water. 365 gallons of water times 35 years. Think about it. That's the math. Now, you guys could sit there and say, are you serious? I'm serious. So think of it. 365 gallons of water times 35. That's 12,775 gallons of fresh water that you have to keep purified somehow to drink. That's 12,775 gallons of fresh water for one person. Yeah. Now, another thing I want to bring up to you guys is that the experiment has failed. You see, there's people out there, they're struggling. They need their food stamps, but they can't get a hold of the welfare office because the welfare office won't get in touch with them due to the fact that no one's answering their phones. You call at 8 in the morning, you're first in line, then they say call volume's high, call back later. Why? It's because everyone's calling about their damn food stamps. They're worried about losing the food stamps. And if they lost their food stamps, they're trying to find a way to get the food stamps back. This is the world we live in, where now we're being tied up on the phone service for food stamps. Think about it. And then on top of that, you got people like Higgins and myself trying to locate a doctor that's competent. Instead, they're not taking new patients. They're not taking new patients. They're not taking food. They're not taking food. They're not taking water or whatever, they're not taking new clients. Sorry, food and water was just out there in my head. They're not taking new clients. Other doctors are dumping you. Other doctors are dumping people with Medicare and Medicaid. The clinics don't want to take Medicare and Medicaid, so they're finding any excuse. Oh, that we might have someone. What's your insurance? Oh, Medicaid? Sorry. Oh, your insurance is Medicare and Medicaid? Oh, your insurance is Medicare? Sorry. So, then you get these people like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get my sex change on Medicare and Medicaid. And then the doctors turn around and say, no, I'm not taking new patients. And they're, oh, you're discriminating. Then they go to court and the judge says, why did you not take them as a client? I'm not taking new patients. Two is Medicare and Medicaid ain't paying me enough to go give this person a surgery. So think about it. So right now you got all these freeloaders out there tying up the phones trying to find doctors. And on top of this, there's clinics I know about. Okay, let me just tell you, Chloe. Let me tell you about Chloe's attitude today. Okay, what did Higgins say this time? For Higgins would need at least 50,000 gallons of water stored away just for his toilet for 35 years. There, enough said. Think about it. That's the truth. You'd need 50 to 100,000 gallons, including but not limited to showering and flushing your toilet. Think about it. This is the truth in the pudding. A lot of people are realizing this. That's why they're not prepping. They hope they can just get vaporized. But, sake of the argument, look at the doctors and stuff, for example, not answering the phones at the welfare office. You got people complaining, oh, I need my food stamp. I can't survive. Then get off your lazy ass and go to work. No. Thing is, think about it. And then you got a lot of people complaining about their no food stamps, and then the government says, oh, everyone's spending. No, everyone's not spending. Everyone's penny pinching. And that is where, people need to realize they're penny pinching. I mean, think about it. I mean, think about it, peeps. Look at this. Bag of coffee like this. $12 ounces. Almost $15. You got to cut corners somehow. You're going to have to look for what we called and said, oh, this one here's got $8 for this one blend. People are going to have to start cutting corners and buying on Amazon. I mean, think about it. The American people are suffering to no end. I mean, I don't know how many people out there are going to continue to suffer, so to me, stock market went down today, so food prices went up again. Remember what I said about me tracking mac and cheese and ramen? That's up. I mean, when you start tracking food prices, you look at everything and you see the prices up and down, up and down, up and down, but food currently has gone up. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I need to buy this and I need to buy that. And it's like, do you? Do you really need to buy this stuff? Because frankly, candy went up. I was going to buy some candy. Spam went up again. I mean, everything's gone up, people. That went up $9 overnight. So, one of the items I was looking at. So you got to see the price of things that went through the roof. Why? Because people are literally that's the truth. I mean, so point being is the American people need to realize that, banking collapse, people can survive. Nuclear Armageddon, they can't. I don't think that's why a lot of them are prepping for a nuclear Armageddon. They think prepping for a month for emergency disasters is fine. Redo their preps as they need it. I mean, potassium iodide tablet. That's another thing. People email me and say, how many bottles you need? One 300 count. So that's the truth. No one can afford to prep. Two is the people that can't afford prep is now looking at their options and saying, what's the point? There's not many people following or doing it either. And the people that are prepping, they're the ones that are worried about being raided or looted if, a banking collapse happens. They're worried about their food being taken. But if there is no banking collapse, they're worried about, surviving a nuclear apocalypse. Point being, You need to basically look at it from that point of view. Yeah. You know. No, I don't want to sit there and say, oh, what are we going to do, you know? That's the thing. I mean, a lot of people have been asking me, what do? You know, I don't have the answers for you. You have to do what is right for you and your family. I mean, literally, a lot of people are also emailing me about the after effects of a nuclear apocalypse. Oh, well, you know, I'm going to prep, I'm going to have food, I'm going to have water. And then they realize the 35-year life expectancy. And then they ask me in an email to do more about radiation research. Well, as you know, there's a massive radiation leak in Chernobyl, you know, and that was taken care of, but took years in 86. But I was 8 years old then, okay? To me, my mom didn't bring up Chernobyl. You know, you had all these donate to the Ukrainian thing on TV or the Soviets. People didn't like them. People hated the Soviets back then, or the old Ruskies, the entire Ruski nations, you know. But, you know, point is, when the Soviet Union fell in 91, it was, 91, it was a blessing. But, you know, I was only 13 when the fall of the Soviet Union. Now, they want to rebuild the Soviet Union, but at the same time, think about it from my point of view. My point of view is, you know, that a lot of people don't care. I mean, think about it. You know, let me give an example. You know, let me give you an example of as a prepper that, you know, a lot of people don't want to prep because, you know, they want to be vaporized. They don't want to live in a post-apocalyptic world because, you know, they can't afford to prep. And the prep meaning the cutting everything out. So to them, they want to live comfortably in full life and not worry about, you know, power outages, no cell phone service, no mail delivery, nothing. I mean, literally, and there's people out there also that are talking, but not limited to the end, you know. And they say, oh, well, let's just get vaporized and be done with it. Maybe be vaporized. So think about it that way, people. A lot of people can't afford things, you know, and, you know, there's a lot of people worried about banking collapse, or let's have the banking collapse so we, the preppers, can survive, you know. And if that doesn't happen, they're going to be angry. I mean, I don't know how many times I've talked to people turning around and saying, Rita, what are you prepping for? Disasters. Now, an earthquake you can get through. Flash flood, hurricane, tornado, volcano, most likely, you know, typhoon, tornado, hurricane, etc. Can't get through as a nuclear disaster. Now, you can if the radiation was contained, but for the sake of the argument, if it's a nuclear attack, I mean, literally, people say, oh, well, I just want to be vaporized because I don't want to live without my phone. I don't want to live because of my radio ain't going to work. I mean, let me put it this way. There's people out there, okay? Now, I'm not going to pick on Higgins, okay? Higgins always swipes that ice bear. Ice bear don't like being swiped. But for the sake of the argument, I know why Higgins is basically turning around, trying to get communication set up with his mom. Maybe his mom and his dad's already came to realize that there's a nuclear attack. There's nothing that can be done. Total annihilation of the world. So they're happy to go out like a blink of an eye or die of radiation poisoning or whatever, right? Whereas Higgins, he's worried that he'll be the last man standing in his basement with no one to talk to. I understand that completely. It's called lonesomeness. Me and Higgins and I were like extended family. We lean on each other, but still, the point I'm making is there's going to be people out there that don't want to be lonely, so they'll give up themselves, It happens, and that's another reason why people don't want to deal with it. Plus, factor, like I said, is people are sitting there talking about the price of stuff. It's the price of stuff. Think about it. Think about it. Chew on it. And yeah, think about it, people. I'll get my phone from Chloe momentarily soon, and she can do her chores, and I will use the bathroom and call Higgins shortly. But my point being is, I got some computer stuff to go through with Higgins, anyways. I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out with his help to, he's more of a computer nerd than I, so I figured he could try to help me out. He always gets paid anyways, so thing is at the end of the month, thanks.
My pies eventually for dinner someday. Not tonight though. I have other plans tonight for dinner.
Anyways, I have no clue, people, on what I'm having for supper tonight yet. I have talked to Chloe about it, but I wanted to say to you guys, think about prepping. People don't want to prep. They're afraid. First of all, they're afraid.
To pop to apple.
You guys are saying, well, where's Rita's? Simple. I wanted chicken parmigiana, but I also ain't paying for the chicken fried steak in a bag that I asked Chloe about being almost $15 a bag either.
Yeah,
and then those pot pies are probably $3 each. So, but anyways, where was I? Yeah, she's got to bring me my phone, but anyways, what I'm trying to tell you guys is it's time to penny pinch. But it's also time to look at all options. I mean, think about it. We all have problems. Those problems are what it is, So, yeah, I'm still waiting for my phone, people.
You're a what?
My phone. My temper's gonna get the best of me. See, I can do an impersonation of her too. Anyways, see, I like being funny, apparently, but I'm not funny. So, anyways, I'm gonna email Higgins before I go, peeps. I gotta let him know. Gotta check my battery too. Yeah, could always use Google Voice switch over charge. Main thing is, hopefully, I can get a hold of Higgins. Got a computer problem, All right. So, anyways, just emailed Higgins. So, but no, we talked about this yesterday, me and Higgins, and you, the preppers. If you can't afford the prep, no sweat. If you can't afford the prep, but you don't want to due to the fact you want to be vaporized, well, that's your prerogative. My opinion is A lot of preppers out there are now learning about the 35-year shelf life or half-life of a nuclear bomb. Therefore, you got to ask yourself, what's going to happen? I don't have any answers. I'm sorry, I don't. I wish I did. Yeah. So, with that said, think about it. A lot of people are afraid they won't have enough food for 35 years or water. So, I had a couple other topics to discuss with you prepping wise, but I think that was the main one, and, think about the after effects. No internet, no phone, no mail, no radios. The radios could be contaminated. The airwaves could be blocked by an antenna. The other thing Higgins was talking about is the antennas, and a lot of people out there will have a amplified antenna. They could have 50-foot antenna with, say, 1,500 watts or 5,000 watts or whatever, and it's connected to their home, and it's connected to their radio equipment, like their ham radio, and all of a sudden their brain's cooked. Their entire body and brain's cooked due to the fact that, they literally cooked because of an EMF, an electronic magnetic field, or electric magnetic field, which can cook your brain. So, that's why you basically, be very careful, So think about it from that point of view. I mean, literally, the EMF is pretty damn bad when it comes to cooking your brain, So you got to look at that. You got to look at communications. Now, with Higgins, of course, I keep telling Higgins not to worry about radios. Oh, well, I don't need to worry about my mom. Maybe, but if your mom's not prepping and not buying groceries, and she's already decided she wants to go to heaven at her age. So, but, I've said that time and time again, same with Higgins' father, but it also depends on how much you're emphasizing on how much you want to prep and what you're going to prep, It's like I was trying to tell you, there's a lot of doctors out there. Right now, they're not taking Medicare and Medicaid. They're not. They're not going to get shafted by the government. Pharmacies are basically trying to shaft, the doctors too, I mean, literally. Let me tell you a story, okay? Chloe goes and makes an appointment, right? Chloe makes an appointment for a doctor's office, right? Makes an appointment. She's like, oh, how come you don't want to go? Because I have my reasons for not going to the doctor's office. A doctor called me today, was yelling at me about doctor needs to reschedule. I said I'll call her back after I told her absolutely not. I live in San Juan County. Video is fine. She says, well, you didn't get your blood work either. Well, I said, take it up with the hospital. They went, why do you think Chloe basically went to the hospital and yelled at them? Why did you do that? Because she got angry. Because they're Catholic. Well, I don't like Catholics, okay? The Catholic establishments I don't like, church in general, and their doctrines. But Catholic people are fine. Because she yelled at him, anti-trans, anti-baby, anti-abortion, anti-this. She had a reason to yell. Let her basically vent it. It's not my business, but they don't want to see me at all. They always throw me out the door, don't do things. Loses my lab results, loses my test for cancer, loses everything. Why? Because they think they're the superiority religion. Actually, if it's a 35-year half-life, that would mean the nuke bombs could survive 70 years. But it also depends on if the nuke bombs have been maintained. But I can go on and on and on. But you guys get the idea of the doctor thing. Oh, And while I'm at it, better check my balance. I had the phone before calling Higgins. You know, I gave Chloe cash, so my card should be pretty good. I'm not spending anything. I'm living off of what I have here at home, except for milk. It's already Wednesday, you know. Because I'm always afraid hackers, you know, with the damn problems I'm on my computer. I'm very protective of my finances, if you guys didn't know. With all the scammers, scalpers, con artists, etc., it makes you really worry what's going on with my bank account. Yeah. Wow, that's all I have left, huh? Wow. So, got my lotto tickets. StreamYard's charged. Okay. Amazon charged me. Okay. Foreign trial. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. One of my special purchases. Okay, cool. All right. So, all was good. So, I'm going to call Higgins. You guys stay tuned for another video later. I will let you guys know how the computer comes out, if it gets fixed or not. In the meantime, school's out. Please, school's out of session. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions, like, subscribe buttons, hold some fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, or bunnies, or service dogs. Service bunnies, hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Just keep the comments nice is all we ask. Thank you, and God bless you in everything you do.